Hi, everyone. This is the Scribe National Changemaker Conversation Interview Series. I'm Afton Brazzoni. I'm here today with Judah Fernandez, who's the co-founder and partner of Nordic Intent, a startup accelerator based in Goa, India. Thanks for being here today, Judah.
Thanks for having me.
So to start off, can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and about your company?
Yeah, so I'm Judah. Like Afton just mentioned, we basically run a company called Nordic Intent, which is our main mother company. We have several daughter companies or concerns that Nordic Intent owns. They started off as startups, and today they're pretty strong organizations out there. As well as we have a couple of startups. So Nordic Intent started off actually as a company that we started basically to manage our own internal companies. So it was a company that provided management services. We really knew we had to become good at it. We had to do a great job because we wanted to sell these services outside as well. And we were already working with certain startups our own, and that's how an accelerator program basically Nordic Intent gave birth to an accelerator program internally with the expertise we had internally, and then we got better at it. So that's one of the important things that Nordic Intent does, other than the services that it also sells out. So yeah, we have some pretty successful. We have actually 4 companies that are really successful and have crossed the startup phase, as well as several other startups that are either co-owned by us or completely owned by us. So yeah, that's a little bit about Nordic Intent.
Awesome. Well, that sounds like a huge undertaking. I mean, I just started my company, Scribe National, last year, and it's so much work to even start one company. Can you kind of talk about when you were first going into business and what the entrepreneurial journey has been like for you?
Well, so when I started off was 2014. Actually, I lost my job. I got kicked out of my job that I was working at. I'm a mechanical engineer by profession. Actually, I lost my job because of it was what I did. So you can say behavior, attitude, and stuff like that. But that was a big turning point in my life. And I was planning to join the merchant navy, become a sailor, and my skills would have been put to use, as well as it was a lot of money involved that I could earn. But my brothers were starting something. They had already been 2 months into it, and they wanted me to join their venture. So initially, I just joined on board as an employee for a couple of months because one of them, it was a simple web dev company, service company that would service international clients. One of my brothers was living in Norway at that point of time, and one of them was in India, and that's how they were working together. But both of them did not have actually coding experience. One of them is into design, and the other guy was a finance guy. So I was the only one who had little relevant coding experience. So that's why they kind of asked me to join and be a part of it, eventually looking at managing employees, managing the teams, and going into a more project managerial role. Yeah, so that was my start as an entrepreneur, where we jumped in, and from there on, we three have pretty much worked together to build up today what we have. I have a several company. We have a couple of companies. We have external partners other than us. So it was actually initially a really tough thing to actually get into, because you're going to work with family, and that's something that's not always the easiest. And all three of us kind of knew this. Family, it's going to be really hard, especially with 3 guys. But actually today, that would be our strongest point. We managed to go through all these tough times with each other, because everyone who, as soon as we started doing well, each one of us basically had our egos coming into the picture, clashing at all times. So it has been tough, but we managed to every single day, clean slate, wipe everything clean, and the next day come back. So that's the start. I think we've been able to also build till where we are today, because we could rely on each other. We three managed completely different parts of the company and took them forward, could rely on each other, could actually trust that the job will get done. So in some ways it could have been it could have been bad that we worked with family together, but it's actually proven to be the strongest point. And yeah, so I have two other partners, Aaron and Caleb as well, who are partners at Nordic Intent. And yeah, since then the journey started as an entrepreneur. But that was not the first entrepreneurial journey that I had, because when I was 14, I ran my own cycle repair shop and I earned money just to get through school. And yeah, it was extra pocket money. We didn't come from a very rich background where we had a lot of money. Actually, we had no money, so whatever we had to do was by ourselves. It was really tough times, and dad was the only earning member. Mom was pretty sick during that time, so it was tough times to come from. And that's pretty much what always showed us where we came from and what we have today, how valuable it is to us. So
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a really powerful story. And I love the fact that you kind of laugh about the fact that, well, it could have gone one way, but it actually turned out to be your company's strongest asset to have that
mm,
family team working together, which is awesome. So, over the past few months, obviously with the COVID-19
yeah.
pandemic, everything has been shifting. There aren't a lot of industries that have been immune to that. So, how would
Mm.
you say that the startup and digital marketing landscape has changed over the past few months?
A lot of companies which are digital have gotten a lot of mileage now. Things have started working out better for them. I, from our experience itself, when the pandemic hit and we know now shit got serious and we need to make a move, we were panicking as well, because it looked like we had business, but we didn't know what was coming in the future. When would the next client pull out? When would the next big deal get canceled? So we pretty much, although we had all our departments sorted out in the company, um, as a company, I've been pretty much the sales department myself, and the marketing department has been handled by Aaron by himself. So we've never really had it. All the sales that came in through networking, through referrals, through people who liked our services, who recommended us. And this pandemic actually brought us to sit back and think, okay, now if we need to get new business and we really need to scale and maintain what we have, because we are a company of over 130 people. We were more than that when the pandemic came. We knew that something was around the corner. People would start slowing down. So we, for the first time, actually set up a full-fledged sales team, a full-fledged marketing team. That's how we tackled it. We pivoted our entire sales and marketing strategy to actually going. Earlier, it would take flight tickets. It would take traveling around the world, going throughout Europe, meeting people, getting business deals. But now, once we pivoted our strategy, we could suddenly have these networking sessions online. We could literally work with 9 different countries just from sitting at home. So I got stuck in Norway, since my wife's from Norway and Aaron also is in Norway, and we're controlling our entire team from here, which is sitting in India. So a lot changed. The entire dynamic changed. We Our entire staff was told to work from home. We managed to pull that off within a week and start operating. The best thing that actually happened was our efficiency went up from 75 to 90% after a month of operation from home. So things drastically changed for us. And although we panicked, we seen that there was a bit of a slowdown. Some of our companies lost, especially the digital marketing companies. Our software companies did not lose too much of business, but the digital marketing companies lost a lot of business, and totally we were down by 30% of business. And honestly, I can't complain, because there are people who lost 100% business. So we are really fortunate being in the IT space that we didn't lose that much of business. But overall, I think the small, medium scale, and the ones that are a little bigger than medium, but not the large corporates and the organizations, all of them have managed to survive, have managed to keep business. So so in this space with the pandemic, I think the people who actually pivoted, who changed strategy, who worked in a different way, found ways they could innovate, have not died, have continued, have lasted. We've done it, and a lot of people have done it as well. But you see a lot of people losing jobs, and that's just corporate. And they're just big companies out there who've had a lot of money to make at one point of time, but this is regular when the market corrects, when stuff like this happens. So yeah, it's been it's been an interesting journey, honestly. Even the pandemic has taught us a lot about ourselves as well as about our company, and yeah, where we want to go in the future as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fantastic story. And what I really want to call out for people in that is how you mentioned that you actually double down on marketing, you double down on sales. So, I know that not everybody is or has been, will be in the position to do that, but I think that's huge because exactly like you said, the companies who kind of didn't pull back, but who, leaned into it and really said we're going to continue putting ourselves out there are the ones to really come out on top, or at least to maintain a lot of their business.
Yeah, yeah,
um,
exactly.
yeah, and I mean, so you've kind of already spoken to this a little bit, but what advice would you have for other entrepreneurs who are starting a business similar to yours?
Well, first of all, it takes a lot of guts to be doing something like that right now in the times. But also, those guts are because an entrepreneur has that passion. And probably the most important thing that you need right now is that fire in your belly to go beyond what everyone else is looking at. One of my mentors, I've been listening to him a lot, and he said something. He's been talking a lot about looking the other way. The entire world is looking in one direction right now, and if you want to break away from the normal people and the normal turbulence that's there, then you need to look the other way. And that would be something that people, all entrepreneurs who are starting right now, who are fresh in their journeys, should think about doing, because if they're going to go with the flow and go in the same direction, then they're not going to make it. So you get that, you have that passion, you have that fire in your belly, just go for it. Because the best thing that could happen is failure, because that will just add to your experience. And maybe it's small amounts of failure, maybe it's complete failure, but some of the best entrepreneurs in the world have only started and become successful through failure. So, and we all have enough of it. Some people don't get the whole complete failure, but yeah, you do have it along the way throughout. So go out there, don't worry about failing. It will work out if you have that passion and that fire.
I love that. Thanks for sharing that. So can you just talk a little bit before we end off about what's next for Nordic Intent, and maybe like the best, social media channels for people to reach you and your company?
Yeah, that's very interesting, because we have had a lot of time at hand to actually reposition our company. Because Nordic Intent, when the first look at it, is okay, it's an incubator accelerator, but that's actually not what Nordic Intent is. Those are one of the services that we offer. And now we are planning to reposition the entire company. We are going for digital first, the entire digital first approach. So more of digital transformation and organization that can provide that. So we're going with a journey where we want to help the user experience. So we're gonna, basically, it's in user experience transformation. To sum it up, the exact word to use there would be user experience transformation. And that's because Nordic Intent has a whole set of companies which are completely owned by Nordic Intent under it, and some partly owned, that contribute to a larger ecosystem of providing services. So full-fledged solutions to people. So we're right from web e-commerce to providing software, AI, ML, basically artificial intelligence, machine learning, cloud, then the entire digital marketing services, the digital world integrated in it. And in addition to that, we also run a team which is into AR, VR, and animation and stuff like that. So all of these pulled together, Nordic Intent is going to be a user experience transformation company going forward. And we're looking at repositioning ourselves in the next few months and going out with a whole new mission, a whole new view on things. And yeah, it's good. It's very interesting. So the best way to actually reach out to us is on the Nordic Intent website. It's nordicintent.com. We're very active on social media. At least now we are active after the pandemic. We're super active on social media. So that's on Facebook and Instagram. It's the same, Nordic Intent. And that's where we are about. So you can check us up on social media, or just go to our website and get a complete view about us.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see, kind of the new branding that you release and everything that you guys are going to be doing over the next few months. Was there anything else that you wanted to share with everybody before we sign off?
It's wonderful what you're doing, first of all,
Thanks.
and I hope Scribe National, was it, goes really. It really does goes well. I've seen a couple of your interviews as well,
Thank you.
and they're really nice, interesting, and it highlights a lot of key points. But yeah, the one thing, I mean, I just spoke about the pandemic. It's quite discouraging for a lot of people, and this is not just to the entrepreneurs, the entrepreneurial world out there, but to a lot of other people also sitting at home. Don't let discouragement get you. Trust me, at these times, um, the people you have around you, love them, care for them, be with them, and other than that, it's just, don't let that discouragement get you and put you in a hole. Try to find something good at these times in life. It's important to look for those little moments of happiness that you've had and completely sink into them and have, and yeah, there is a horizon, there is hope over the horizon, just in the near future, and just endure that, endure what you have right now, and everything will be fine. And for the rest of the entrepreneurs, this is not a bad time at all. If anyone tells you so, prove them wrong to start a business.
Yes, I love that advice. Well, thank you so much for being here today, Judah, and can't wait to follow what you guys are doing in the next couple of months.
Yeah, it's been
Um,
wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
oh, yeah, it's been great. So, everybody, I'm going to be back in 2 weeks with another Changemaker Conversations interview. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel in the meantime. Take care.